Check it out, everyone. Welcome back to Brookhaven, and today we got a few things to talk about. First of all, we're going to be talking about landmarks. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm meaning landmarks, I'm talking about stuff like this. You can claim buildings that are not actually your house. So we'll be talking about that, and also we'll be talking about the UI system. Yeah, as you realize, it has a update, and I want to know down below in the comments right now, do you also have this? Because some people I don't think have this yet. They're doing that slow rollout situation again. But yeah, we got that. But remember to also subscribe, like, comment, and share either way, because we have a lot of stuff to talk about, and I'm your one-stop shop for Brookhaven news and all that fun stuff. So either way. So for those that don't know, as you see we're already getting into it, that don't know what a landmark is, it's basically this right here. You see this? You see how we have just a random building? It's not actually a house. You can click here and claim it, current landmark, power plant. As you notice, with the landmark, we can do a couple things. We can change the roof color, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know this because this isn't like new information. You can mess with the windows, you can open up the garages, you can put words on it, you can put music, and you can even look around at the cameras. All pretty cool stuff. But the question that you have to ask yourselves right now is, this right here is just the start of things. We got this landmark, but who says we will not be seeing another couple landmarks or already have a couple landmarks already in the game? So let's look around and see what we got here. And also, I want to mention right now, there's a big possibility that the new soccer stadium, if it's not going to be an estate, will also be a landmark. So that means wherever it's going to be placed will be its own landmark. So that means that stadium we're getting, if it's not a estate, like I already said, it will become a landmark. But now, as you realize, I went downtown. There's a few things we have to show here. First of all, the apartments. The apartments themselves, including the grocery store, by the way, want to add that into this, might actually become a landmark on the terms of apartments can be owned by someone. So therefore, it kind of works in that vein. And basically, all at that point is you can't ban them, but you can change the exterior color of the building and like put like a apartment sign on the side or something like that. That's all that would actually do. But for these buildings right here, I don't see a landmark situation going on. But for the police station, hospital, maybe town hall and fire station, I want to say yes, we might see a landmark going on there, because technically someone could own a police station and be a funding for it. Same for like a town hall. Like technically that's like city payments for that. Hospitals, someone can pay for a part of a hospital, so that could be a landmark. Get what I'm trying to say? And then we got ourselves the fire station. Fire station can also be funded mainly by the city, but you could probably have a landmark situation going on with these. But like I was gonna say, also on top of that, with the school as well, all of these wouldn't actually be able to possibly be landmarks, but at the same time, yes, be landmarks because they are landmarks. Same with the school over here. This could become a landmark, but in more of a superintendent situation. Basically, the person owns the building. It's the state usually owns the building, or the city. So that's another situation all there. This right here, again, the sectioning could actually become a landmark just because of what it is. But again, just like these, landmark sounds a little bit further from the truth than it should be. Same with the motel over there. Not really landmark-y. It's more of a, what do you call it? You could actually do that with this one. It's not landmark-y, but you could actually technically own it and change the roof color, maybe the exterior of it a little bit. Same with Burger Barn. Burger Barn could be owned because you can own a business. The mall could be owned. That could be owned by someone. That could become a landmark just because these two stores here, because of franchises, for example, for Burger Barn, going back to this for a second, and for the mall, sometimes the mall can be owned by a company or an individual. So this is a possibility right here. Think about that. Someone owning the mall, closing the windows, changing the exterior color, stuff like that. Pretty crazy. Gas stations can 100% be franchised out and owned. Same with the Automart. So both these right here can become landmarks. Full out landmarks. Technically already we can do some stuff in here. Like we can work here. We can do stuff here. We can't really change anything, but we can work here. We can definitely do that. But over here, we can also do the same thing. Just think about that, having a little bit more control over this job. Like, having it as a landmark, you could actually literally, like, change the color of it. Maybe even lock the door if need be. I don't know, like, weird things. Like, I doubt the door locking part, but you see what I'm trying to say. But now let's talk about stuff we can see coming to the future that would be considered a landmark. Like, for example, the soccer stadium, if it comes into the game, or when it comes into the game, would be considered possibly a landmark if it's not already going to be a estate. If they were to add a brand new skate park into the game that is also not a apartment, it would also be considered possibly a landmark. So that means if we were to get a whole new skate park, that right there would be a landmark. You'll be able to change the color probably of the skate stuff. Actually, hold on. We'll make this easier for ourselves. We'll get rid of this. We'll go do this. We'll go do this. So I'll show you an example of, like, if we had the power to do a skate park. That's what we're doing right now. Okay, penthouse, that's what we wanted. Well, bam. Going over to where the skate park is. There we go. There we go. Going on inside. And where are you? Where are you? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Now we go up here. And as you see all this up here. Now, I don't know if these change with the color, but we're going to go ba-bam. So this changes. But think about this. If you had the skate park and you actually owned it, you could change the color of the ramps probably, of the grinding rails, and things like that. So if we were to get a skate park, which might be a possibility in the future now, if we're getting a soccer stadium, this is actually I was talking about a multiple sports stadium, but basically stuff like that coming shows that there might be a possibility for this, and there is a person that was glowing down there. And also on top of that, there's one other location. It may not seem like it could be a landmark, but there is a big possibility that we could see this as a brand new landmark. And yes, it is the Brookhaven Bank. The reason why I'm saying this, because first of all, we have upstairs, downstairs, and we also have the other thing that's all the way on the bottom. This could definitely have a whole camera situation going on. Like, you can actually be in charge of all the stuff, the landmark owner or whatever, and actually see everything that's going on inside. And also, I just want to mention, I don't know if this is going to become a landmark, but, like, I could see this being updated in the future to make it more, let's say, event ready. Because, yeah, I know they got rid of the mall, but this over here becoming an event ready for future, like, update events and stuff like that could actually be a possibility. Could it become a landmark? I don't think so. The daycare, that could be a landmark, but at the same time, no. So the first one we do have is the power plant, and maybe, I gotta say right now, this is a long shot because we just got a camp update for other things. But Lake Madison being a landmark, yeah, there's a possibility. That would also include the camp house over there and this. So you would probably be able to change, like, the bow color, the camp house color, maybe what's out there. I don't know how all the camp stuff is going to work, but you see what I'm trying to say. We got all this going on up here. But you see what I'm trying to say, guys? I'm just trying to give, like, examples to show you guys what we could be seeing possibly for landmarks in the future. Like, for example, if they do a home bus depot, or even a train station, that train station could also be considered a landmark. Get what I'm trying to say? Like, the whole train line could be a landmark, which would be crazy. Like, I'm just saying stuff that may sound far-fetched, but at this point in time, there is a bigger possibility to see a skate park being added now, because of the fact is we're getting a soccer stadium. And we could also be seeing a new train station be added. And I know a lot of you want to see this, but like a pier or a like a boardwalk, which will have some carnival related things on it, that could also be possibly got as a landmark. Voltex, these are all ideas that you could definitely use. You could definitely literally use something over here as well. You could put a garbage dump over here, or a waste disposal site over here, and that could also become a landmark. And also, that'll give you spots to have for roleplay purposes, where people go to drop off their trucks and stuff when they're done with their stuff for the day. Yeah, you see? It all works together. Like, we got stuff like over here. Each of these little beach spots, if they added a little bit more detail to them, they could become landmarks as well. Like, all of them don't need to be, like, boardwalk related, but they could become, maybe a little bit more lively. Remember, these are just thrown down to give a little more life to the ocean. So they could be seeing updates in the future as well, which will be pretty crazy to see. And I know you guys are probably asking about the arches, the farm, the stables. Yes, maybe the stables as a landmark. But the arches, no. I'm sorry, the arches will not become a landmark. Maybe the abandoned shack, if they were to expand on it, like give it something else other than the abandoned shack, that could possibly become a landmark too. Like I was saying, old Brookhaven, over by the abandoned shack. But yeah, I could see the stables also becoming a landmark if the stables were to get an update. I could see this also being a landmark as well, because we got the little horse stables here, but we technically need bigger ones, especially if they were going to update the stables and the farm, giving it more of a farm aesthetic, like actually letting you do stuff with the farm. Yeah, that stuff right there, landmark ready. But yes, guys, I just want to say thank you all for watching and thank you all for being here. This last idea right here, I saved it for the end because if this became a landmark, you would have control over the crops. Just going to say that right now. But thank you all for being here and thank you all for watching. Remember, comment, like, and share and show this to all your friends. Remember, gremlins don't die, they multiply. So, until next time, guys, until we meet again, thank you all for watching. If you made it to the end, you're awesome. You're amazing. You're super duper cool. Until next time, thank you for watching. Have a great day and bye.